All right, we're going through the ESPN college football Pickem for week 1 of the 2024 season. I'm going to show you my analytics. Let's get after it. All right, let's go ahead and do this again. If you are new to the show, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and go check it out if you want some advanced content, if you want some more projections, if you want more bonus stuff, bonus podcasts, etc. One, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you can be a member at bettingcfb.com. It's $5 a month or $50 for the year. Let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, we're going to start off here, and the spread picks for ESPN's College Pick'em starts off with, and these numbers are way, way off from what they are now, but we're going to try and pick against these ESPN numbers, see what we can do for this year. So as you can see, I've already made my picks for the week, but I'm going to go on and share them with you so that you know what we're doing. I took Penn State minus 10.5 against West Virginia. And the reason for that, my number on this is Penn State minus 9.6, but you see that talent composite there? Penn State number 11, West Virginia number 54. I think Penn State's line of scrimmage play is going to be significantly better than West Virginia, and I don't think West Virginia is going to be able to throw the ball. Like, Garrett Green, I think, is okay. I don't think he's anything to write home about. So if that's the case, that's what we're going to do. We're going to side with Penn State. I think they win this by 2 touchdowns. So going opposite of my number here, but I feel good about it. Carrying on, Virginia Tech travels to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. Virginia Tech is a 10.5-point favorite here. That number is actually 13.5 at the majority of books right now. So you might want to, if you like Vandy at plus 13.5, I would worry about that. But I think Virginia Tech is going to be good enough to be able to get to this 10.5 number. A 31-20 win ought to get you there. So I feel pretty strong that Virginia Tech is going to be able to cover 10.5 on this. My number on it, and we'll swap that thing around. Again, I'm going opposite of the number because my number is Virginia Tech minus 6. But it's week 1 of the season. I don't know how much I trust my preseason numbers, so that's what we're doing. So we'll go back, and yes, I'm going to take Virginia Tech minus the 10.5. Clemson and Georgia. This is an interesting one. They've got the line as Georgia, a 13.5-point favorite. This one's in Charlotte. And this one I'm actually going to side with my number on because I've got Georgia by 10.622. These are 2 of the top 5 most talented programs in the country. Now, power rating-wise, I've got Georgia 1. I've got Clemson number 14. Adjusted returning production, that's one thing. Clemson's offense had major problems last year. Number 132 in explosive margin. They could not create explosive plays, and they weren't great at stopping them either. Hence why they were number 132 out of 133 in that spot. But, I think they're going to be a little bit better this year. It's year 2 of Garrett Riley. I think that I would trust Clemson to be able to cover that number on that. This one, I do not have a graphic for. I will go ahead and tell you. I think Oklahoma State covers against South Dakota State. Yeah, they've got some returning production. Some, the Jackrabbits do. But I don't have numbers on them. I think they're going to be all right. They lost their offensive coordinator. How much does that necessarily matter? I think Oklahoma State comes out firing. I'm going to trust that Oklahoma State gets this thing done. So we'll see. We move ahead in the action. Akron and Ohio State. This number is 50.5. Currently, right now, it's actually 48.5. So there's been some buyback on Akron. It got through that 49, which is pretty surprising. But a lot of people have picked. 63% of the people have picked Akron on this, and I'll go on and show you my graphic on this. Ohio State by almost 38. Pace of play, what I am expecting a Chip Kelly offense to look like. Now, they might I think they're going to run the ball a lot, but they legit might break off like 10 explosive runs. It might really be, Akron may not be able to stop them at all. But I also think Akron might run the ball too. So I don't know if it'll be 38, but could this be like a 45-0 game? Yeah. But I guess at that point it could just as easily be 52-0, and Ohio State wouldn't even necessarily have to try that hard. So something to pay attention to for sure. We carry on Colorado State and Texas. Now, this is another one that, Colorado State plus 36.5. That is what I went with. 56% of the people betting also went with this. Texas plays at Michigan next week. How much are they really going to run up the score? 35 would be 5 touchdowns. Not so certain about that. Also, the graphic that I've got on this has Texas by 30.5. So we got 6 points of value on that one. Yeah, I'm probably going to roll that direction. So I just think that Colorado State is good enough to at least score. And if that's the case, I don't think Texas is going to try and run this thing up. They're going to try and get some new running backs some work, especially heading into Ann Arbor next week. So that is our direction. Next on the board, Alabama, a 32.5-point favorite. 75% of the people have picked Alabama on this. So I think we're going to side with them. And that's going to go against... Maybe I should go Western Kentucky, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, why not? We'll flip it around. I'll go Western Kentucky. And the reason for that, my number has Alabama by 26, close to 26.5. If that is the case, then, yeah, I don't think Alabama's going to run it up. You got Wisconsin coming up in a couple of weeks. You got South Florida next week. Probably going to run the ball a lot. Probably not going to put a lot of stuff on film. You're just going to get the guys out there, get them to go through the motions, get some good work in. I could see it. There we go. All right, back to this. Fresno State at Michigan. Fresno 22.5 is the number here. And we're going to take the Bulldogs at plus 22.5. I feel pretty strong about that. I don't think Michigan's going to run this thing up. Michigan's got Texas next week. So, again, how much are they going to put on film? I think they're going to run the ball. I think Fresno, Mikey Keene, the quarterback there, I think he can throw the ball around. Tim Skipper is the new interim coach. I would not... I mean, my number on this is 19. So it's like right there along with it. I've still got Jeff Tedford on the graphic, but it's Tim Skipper. He's the new interim coach. Jeff Tedford had to deal with medical issues. So, yeah, we're going to take Fresno to cover against Michigan. I gotta rename some of these scenes. That's what I got to do. All right, Texas A&M is a 1.5-point favorite over Notre Dame in the ESPN College Pickem, and that line is actually out to 3 at this point. Notre Dame, I will tell you, I'm going opposite of what my graphic would say, because the graphic says that Notre Dame should be favored by 1.5. But Notre Dame's starting offensive lineman, or starting left tackle, he's out. And now it looks like Notre Dame is going to start 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores on the offensive line. You want to do that against the defensive tackle Turner and the defensive end Nick Scourton? I don't feel too good about it. Now, I do think Notre Dame's defense is going to hold up pretty well, but I think Texas A&M at home, at night, at Kyle Field, yeah, I will take Texas A&M in this spot. I've gone back and forth so many times on this. It's just haywire. It's absolutely bananas. I've got to rename that thing. Okay, last matchup here. Who is going to win this matchup against the spread? And that would be the New Mexico Lobos, who played last week, against the Arizona Wildcats. And I think I'm probably, I'm going to keep it with New Mexico. This number's pretty outlandish. 31.5 is crazy. There you go. I've got Arizona minus 23 on this. The team talent composite is not too overwhelming. The power rating is. Adjusted returning production is. But I also think that Jason Beck, the offensive coordinator there, might have something different planned for Arizona. Now, Arizona nobody's seen what they're going to do with Dino Babers at OC and new head coach Brent Brennan. But I do feel pretty good about it. I do feel pretty good about this. So yeah. So this is what we got here. We are taking, let's scroll back through. Let's go back to our solo web. Penn State minus 10.5. Virginia Tech minus 10.5. Clemson plus 13.5. Oklahoma State minus 7.5. Akron plus 50.5. Colorado State plus 36.5. Western Kentucky plus 32.5. Fresno State plus 22.5. Texas A&M minus 1.5. And New Mexico plus 31.5. And for the total points that will be scored in Clemson versus Georgia, I just put 50. Because who knows? I think it goes over the total, which is 48.5 or 49. So yeah, I just put 50 to go over. Why not? All right, that is going to wrap it up. We're going to try and do this every single week. I appreciate you for being here. Don't forget bettingcfb.com, and of course, make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast and the YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.